Prior to school closing, over 2,000 KIPP Massachusetts students were on track for another academically excellent year. When COVID hit our communities in March, it was a devastating blow. We have prioritized the health and safety of our students, families, and staff. While we certainly have faced our challenges, it has also provided opportunities. While we moved to support students virtually, we made a bigger commitment to support our families during the pandemic, such as with rent, food, or financial support. And most importantly, we committed to co-authoring remote learning with our families because we knew through these difficult times, their partnership was vital.
When I found out we were going to be remote in the spring, I was actually glad. There was and still are so many unknowns about this virus, and keeping the students and staff safe is the top priority. Then, when KIPP decided to stay remote for the start of the school year, I was glad the transition to remote learning was going to be structured. But I was also worried about how user-friendly it would be for my younger son. I wasn't too worried about Jathan, he's tech-savvy.
When I found out we would be remote for the start of the school year, I knew it was going to be challenging, especially since my household is always so busy. I knew that it would be a struggle to stay focused and prepare for my challenging senior classes. Luckily, thanks to the classes we had in the spring semester, I had a good idea of what class would look like and planned accordingly.
At KIPP Massachusetts, we not only committed to providing all the technology and support families would need to start school remotely, but we committed to putting people first, meaning we named that we will not open our buildings until it is safe and families feel safe and supported. Our number one guiding principle is we are prioritizing student and staff safety above everything else. In putting people first, we co-authored our reopening with families. This includes family working groups, family town halls, surveys, one-to-one calls, and weekly meetings between principals and our family council. Our families were not told this is the decision. In fact, we came to our families with incomplete decisions so that they could help us write those decisions. This is a new way of operating for KIPP Massachusetts. While we have always sought parent input, we knew to co-author with families meant that they literally would help us write the story of their children's learning.
I think one thing KIPP has done well has been making us parents part of the plan. We were part of the decision making. We've had surveys, calls, emails. KIPP also has many sessions where parents could learn how to navigate the apps that we were going to use during the remote learning. During these meetings, we were all learning together. They did not pretend that everything was perfect or that they had all the answers. They asked us what we wanted, what we needed, not only when it came to school, but also personally. We were given a space to talk about our emotions, about the social injustices happening. And of course, we do have a long way to go, but I am confident that we can do it together.
Our student remote learning experience is created with our co-educators, their families, and our teachers. Our data from the fall tells us that not only are students logging on at a much higher rate, but more than that, they are engaging in a deep and meaningful way.
I'm surprised that even though they can't physically be there to help, they're still able to make remote learning fun. We can play games that have to do with what we're learning. My teachers have done a really good job explaining things correctly and helping students understand what is right or wrong about their work. I also like that I can have one-on-one meetings with my teacher if I need extra help.
The efficiency and structure of remote learning has definitely surprised me because it feels really organized from my perspective, and I feel like all the proper material is being presented to each student. My school has done a great job of making sure both the students and the parents are up to date on every policy and expectation of remote learning, and making sure everyone is on the same page.
I think a bright spot for me during remote learning is that I am able to learn at my own pace. My teachers send videos and I can pause and play until I understand the topic. It allows me to understand a lot of topics conceptually and not memorize things just for a grade.
The start of the 2020-21 school year has been centered on humanity and acknowledging what is happening in the world right now. That begins with our people and moves into our curriculum. We are doing this work from kindergarten to 12th grade. We know that our KIPP Massachusetts community is navigating two pandemics, COVID and the historical racism that plagues our country. Centered in this evolving and awakening has been our continued commitment to developing and retaining staff of color, and we are doing it.
Me reconozco en nuestros estudiantes y familias. I see myself in our students and families. Like many of them, I'm also an immigrant and a native Spanish speaker. It means a lot to our families to have someone they can communicate with in their native language. Families feel comfortable providing feedback and asking questions because nothing gets lost in translation. It's also powerful for kids to see that their school leader looks like them and comes from a similar background.
All right, I think we have time for two more. If you didn't get a chance to read, brush it off. It's okay. We're a team. We're learning with each other.
Our buildings may be closed, but school is not. We are just getting started at KIPP Massachusetts, and we invite you to join us on this journey of evolving and awakening in the midst of these pandemics. We know the effects of this pandemic will last for years. All of the challenges we face this year will continue to be a challenge in the years to come. And with your support, we are ready for that challenge. Let's do this together.